guys, welcome back. My friend Lucy here has this little baby sheep that is on a bottle. Unfortunately, the mom was not letting him nurse, so she's been having to bottle feed him, and that's given us the perfect opportunity to teach you guys how to bottle feed a baby. Okay, so tell us, what's his name?
His name is Napoleon, and he's super cute.
Yeah, he is super cute.
And friendly.
Yes, he follows us around the yard actually. So it's really important to know how to bottle feed baby sheep and baby goats, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually really harm them. And it can actually result in death if you don't do it the correct way. As I've mentioned in my other videos, it's not difficult to do it, but you do have to do it the right way. So I'm going to be telling you about what I'm using to bottle feed and how to do it correctly. Now, most of the information in this video is going to be the same for both sheep and goats, unless of course there are specific things that are not, which I will mention in the video. So basically, you do want to make sure that they get some of their mother's milk if possible, at least for the first few days of their life. If that's not an option for you though, that's okay, because Do More actually makes a goat and sheep milk replacer. Do More actually makes a milk replacer for many different kinds of animals, and they do have separate ones for goats and some for sheep. So you do want to make sure you get the right one, because it will have everything that your animal needs. Now, don't ever use cow's milk from the grocery store. Don't use any type of milk meant for humans from the grocery store. Now, that's already been processed. It's had everything taken out of it. It's not good for the baby animal anymore. It's just gonna make your goat or sheep or whatever it is that you have, it's gonna make them sick. So don't do that. And I strongly recommend that you stay away from any type of homemade milk replacer. Make sure you go to a feed store and get one that is actually made for that species. So the one that I definitely recommend is Do More. It's easy to find at Tractor Supply. It's easy to get for them. And like I said, they have one for sheep, they have one for goats, they have one for cows. So it's going to have everything that that animal needs in order to grow and be healthy. So Do More is actually used for animals that are showing. So they want those animals to look their best. They want them to be gaining weight at a good rate. They want them to be really healthy. So it's a good thing to use that brand. It'll be perfect for your pet. Now, they do have an option for small bags if you have just one baby. And then they do also have like the more than 20-pound bags in case you have a lot of animals that you're trying to provide for. So like I said, super easy to get and find, and it is going to be the best option next to nature for your baby. Now, next, let's talk about bottles. So right now we have this one, and it's basically just a simple baby bottle. Those work as well. But if you haven't done this before, I do recommend, instead of going with just a human bottle, to actually get nipples from Tractor Supply. They have some that they just sell the nipples, and they're super easy to use. You just put them on a soda bottle or something like that, and then that way it's shaped different, so it's going to be easier for the animal to figure out how to use it, just because it does have a different shape. Now, you can also use this, but if you don't have experience, it may be a little bit more difficult to get them to catch on to this type of bottle. Now, it is possible, but the nipples that they have at Tractor Supply are going to have a different shape than the human bottles, or even the bottles that are for dogs and cats, and they just catch on to that one easier. Now, if your baby has not had its mother's milk and it's not possible for you to get the mother's milk, then it is recommended that you go with the colostrum, which is going to be a supplement that you give goats for the first 24 hours of their life, and for sheep you give it for the first 3 days. On the 4th day, you don't need to still be feeding this, but it does need to be fed if they have not had their mother's milk. And Do More also, of course, has this available for you. They might not eat a lot, and they might have a little bit of a hard time getting a hang of the bottle, but that's okay. Just keep offering it to them. They need to be fed several times the first 24 hours. Now, once that's done, you can start feeding them every 4 hours. So after they've been born for 24 hours, then you start feeding them every 4 hours, and this includes at night. So it doesn't matter what's going on, this is a huge commitment. If you want to bottle feed a baby goat or baby lamb, you need to feed them every 4 hours regardless of anything. So set your alarm clock during the night so that you can keep them on that schedule. And you're going to be feeding them every 4 hours for the first month. So the first 4 weeks, it's every 4 hours. So now we're going to talk about the most important thing that we're going to mention in this video, and that is how much to feed. Now, it's really important to not overfeed them. Overfeeding can lead to death. So if you don't feed them the correct amount, you can make them very sick. Goats should be fed about 10 to 12% of their body weight. If you keep feeding them until they're full and no longer interested in the bottle, then you have overfed them. So I can't stress it enough, don't overfeed them. If you've gotten to the point where they are no longer interested in drinking milk, then it's too much and they're going to be sick and have a stomachache at the very least. So weigh them, convert that into ounces, then get 10% of that, and that is how much you feed a goat. Now, don't overfeed them. They will be wanting more. They will continue to eat past that point, but you really cannot let them. Now, sheep, on the other hand, need 20% of their body weight. So it's a significant amount more than with goats, but again, don't overfeed them. I can't stress that enough. Just because the sheep need more milk doesn't mean give them as much as they want. It means give them, the extra 10% and always monitor it. Now remember to always have water and grass hay available for your sheep and your goats. They probably won't start eating hay until they're about 2 weeks old, but you can still have that available for them. And of course, always have water for them. And they're going to still need the bottle. So even though they're eating hay at about 2 weeks old, they're going to need the bottle until they're about 8 weeks old. The first 4 weeks, the baby will need to be fed every 4 hours. And then after that, after the first month, you can feed them about 3 times a day. So now I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to give this little guy his bottle. Now, usually they do take their bottle standing because if they were nursing, of course, they would be standing. Now, you want to hold the bottle completely up, okay? Because if there is air bubbles, it can make them very sick if the air goes inside of them. It's going to just make them full of air. See, he knows what's happening. And then you place the bottle into their mouth. You can hold it with one hand and hold their body with your other hand in case they get too excited. You want to try to keep them still. And of course, don't feed them too much. You do want to monitor how much they are eating. So it is important to also get a bottle with lines. That way it's easy for you to measure.
Thanks for watching this video with Megan and me. Hope you like it.
And you can follow me on Instagram to see some photos of this little guy.